Hello everyone and welcome back. Welcome back to our lesson for you dear friends. You know that we have started a series of lectures on the anatomy of the human skeleton, and I have told you that I will record the human skeleton, full skeleton. I will record each and every bone inshallah with my best try. Inshallah I will try my best to record all these bones for you guys. Now first of all, we will name all the bones which are present in the body, and we will see them practically in the different models I will show you. But before this lecture, you please go and watch the lectures that I have introduced the human skeleton, and then we divided the skeleton into two parts. That skeleton which is present in the center of the body, and that skeleton which is present in the peripheries of the body. So the axial skeleton and the appendicular skeleton, and I have named all the bones, and we have said that there were 216 bones which are present in the human body, right? Now let us discuss the bones of the head and see the bones, each bone and the name of those bones, right? So let us begin with our lecture. First of all, I had told you that your head is divided into two parts. The first, the cranium, and then the face, right? I'm making it very simple. The head is divided into two parts, the cranial part and the facial part, or the face, right? Next, I had told you that your cranium itself is divided into two parts, the narrow cranium, and then you have the basocranium, right? You can see in this model, the basocranium, right? And this is used for the practical purpose in our college, right? So here you know that your brain lies, right? This here is your brain, and the part of your cranium which is present below the brain, that is called the basocranium or the base, right? And the part which is present above your brain, that is called the narrow cranium, right? So it's like this, right? So your cranium is divided into narrow cranium and the basocranium, right? Let us see the bones of the narrow cranium. We have two models, and we will see the first bone which makes your forehead, right? This is your forehead. As you can see here, it's very empty, it does not have any hairs, right? It's just joke. So look, this bone is called the frontal bone, right? You can see here, this is frontal bone. Now I had told you that your narrow cranium has paired bones and unpaired bones, right? So this is only one bone, so this is unpaired bone, the frontal bone. Behind it, or dorsal to it, there is the bone which is called the occipital bone, right? So I will discuss about these sutures and joints, we will discuss, don't worry. So now we are just naming the bones, the occipital bone and the frontal bone. These are the unpaired bones. Now next, there are paired bones. These two, you can see this is central suture, right? So these are the parietal bones, the two parietal bones, and the two temporal bones, or the temporal bones. Here is a temporal bone, right? And there is another temporal bone, this one. So the two parietal bones are paired, and the two temporal bones or temporal bones are paired bones. So the bones of the narrow cranium are frontal, occipital, two parietal, and two temporal bones, done. Then in your basocranium you have two bones, and I had told you that there is a butterfly shaped bone, right? This butterfly shaped bone is called the sphenoid bone, right? The most complicated bone of the human body, the sphenoid bone. And then there is anteriorly, here is a bone, and this is called the ethmoidal bone or ethmoid, right? So ethmoid is unpaired, sphenoid unpaired, frontal unpaired, occipital unpaired. 4 unpaired and 2 paired bones, parietal paired and temporal paired. Total number of bones present in your cranium are 8, I have told you. Now the bones of the face, facial bones. I had told you that face also contains two groups of bones, the paired bones and the unpaired bones. First, the unpaired bones were two. Number one, this mandible. So the mandible is only one bone, right, and it is an unpaired bone. Okay, and then you have in your nose, you have this central narrow blade like bone. This is called this one, which I'm putting the pin inside, right, this one, which makes the nasal septum. This is called the vomer bone. So the vomer bone and mandible bone are the unpaired bones, and these are only two. And then there are the paired bones, and the 6 unpaired bones are, first, look, these two which I'm mentioning, zygomatic bones. What are these? These are zygomatic bones. Then these two, which makes your upper jaws, right? These two, they have a suture here, right? We will discuss later. These two are called the maxillary bones. Zygomatic, maxillary, and then here we have two lacrimal bones. Here we have two lacrimal bones, which I will show here, the lacrimal bones, right? These are the lacrimal bones. And then there are two nasal bones, right? You can see here the nasal bones and the lacrimal bones. Then there are the inferior nasal conchae, inferior nasal conchae. If you have noticed my previous lecture, you just please put your copy in front of it, keep it, and look at the copy and look at here. So in the copy you have written the names of the bones, and here you will see, you will never forget, right? So nasal, right, lacrimal, inferior nasal conchae, zygomatic, maxillary, right, and then there are two palatine bones. You can see here, this is palate, and these are the two palatine bones, right and left. If you tell him to open his mouth, you know that here is your palate. So palatine bones are there. So how many total bones? Total 14 bones. Look, 2 unpaired, vomer, mandible. 6 paired. Look, lacrimal, nasal, inferior nasal conchae. What is this? Maxillary. What is this? Zygomatic bones. Zygomatic bones, right? And then there are palatine bones. So these are the 6 bones which are the paired bones of your face. So how many total bones? Total 14 bones are present in your face, and total 8 bones are present in your cranium. Next, I had told you that in your ears you have 6 bones. 3 ear ossicles in right ear, 3 ear ossicles in the left ear. So total number of bones in your head is 8 plus 14, 8 plus 14, 22, and 22 plus 6 present in your ears, 28 bones are present in your head, right? So these were the bones of the head and face. See you in the next lecture.